welcome my good friend, Adam Franklin, from marketing coach from Blue Wire Media.
Thank you for that kind introduction, Jason. Many people, when they meet me for the first time, mistake me for Ellen DeGeneres. But I know that many of you, well, I think some of you know me already. Who's been to one of my marketing sessions over the last 5 or 10 years? Fabulous, fabulous. All right, so just like we did when the digital world was changing so significantly and impacting our business, now that it's AI that's revolutionizing the world and particularly our business, I'm here today to break it down into practical things that you can do with your business so that it's not only effective and practical, but also safe. Because the reality is that AI is here already. Silvio has shown us exactly what it is capable of, but I'm here today to talk about specifically separating the promise from the payoff. Because the promise is quite seductive. The whole idea of having AI agents, which is essentially what agentic AI means, it means having an AI agent. So what is an AI agent? An AI agent is essentially a robot that does things that humans can do. It can follow tasks, it can follow instructions, it can do tasks, and it can do things that human beings can do. And in theory, once you have built an agent or you have bought an agent, it then works for you for free. And it doesn't make mistakes, it works 24/7, it never tires, it does everything that you could want it to do, which is really appealing because it frees you, the human being, up to do the stuff that you enjoy and that is the highest value work for your business. So the human relationships, the working with clients, and the things that you enjoy the most. However, the reality is that it is very similar to having a team of humans working for you. Who's ever had an intern or a staff member or a business partner? Show of hands in the room. Yeah, of course. And you've trained them up, right? You've trained them what to do. And how did that work out? Did any of your human beings follow the instructions to a T and never make a mistake? No. Humans make mistakes, and currently, AI agents make mistakes. And that risk is real. Particularly in the broking world, compliance matters. And that's why the moral of the story today is that whilst agentic AI is super, super seductive, the reality is that the day-to-day practice of it does come with risks. So let's just take a quick look at the 3 levels of AI. Because the smart brokers, they're not waiting for the perfect AI to exist. Smart brokers are doing what they can now in a safe and practical way to not only free up more time in their calendar, but to free themselves up to be doing more of that high-value work. So at the foundational level here, you can see tier 1. Like Silvio said, the LLMs, the large learning models there, basically performing tasks. You give it some instructions in the form of a prompt, and it does that task for you. So most people have had to play around with ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, right? So it's all pretty straightforward stuff. So I guess when we first started, it was all about, in my head anyway, trying to get that perfect prompt to get the perfect output. As my thinking and experience evolved, I realized the power of stacking prompts. So that instead of having one mega prompt, we could actually have a conversation with ChatGPT where there was a series of back and forth messages where it could learn more and more about you and could therefore give better outputs. And that's probably where most of the immediate value lies with your broking firm right now. Now the second tier, tier 2, this is more about having workflows. So a series of tasks. All right, so this is where, in practical terms, you may have built or used a custom GPT, so something that has a repeatable standard operating procedure or a process. So it follows a repeatable process, and the GPT helps you or your staff member or your client or your prospect, depending on who's using it, of course, it helps them perform a task and give you an output. Now, the beauty of these is that you program it with your own custom knowledge and your own custom instructions so that you're providing the guardrails for it to perform that task as safely and as best it can. Now, of course, AI still does go rogue, it still does hallucinate, so you do still need to be checking these things. And there is definitely lots and lots of value there, like right now, today, to be building GPTs and using them. It's a bit more advanced, but the third tier, agentic AI, this is really where you've got autonomous systems. So it doesn't rely on prompts. It is an agent or a robot that is doing things. It's got access to tools. So as Silvio showed in his examples, it can go into your Woolies app and log into your Flight Centre or log into your Qantas or log into your Virgin and look at flights. It can book flights and all of that sort of stuff. So you can see where it starts to maybe get a little bit risky. So if we zoom into that top triangle, you've got basically three tiers of agentic AI as well. So the bottom level is fairly safe. So this is where it's not strictly speaking an AI agent. It's agentic AI with a workflow. And this is probably where the simple stuff yield the biggest wins. So if you're looking to get 10 hours back in your calendar each week, this is an area, particularly with inbox and phone systems, this is where you're going to get the most value. Things like if an email comes in, it can read the email and either flag it or draft a response or file it for you. Same deal if a phone call comes in, it can talk to the person, it can work out, okay, is this a new client inquiry? Is it a client who's leaving a message for John? If so, you can send that notification to John, things like that. So having basically an AI receptionist. As we step up into the next tier, this is where it starts to get a little bit dangerous. Like it can work really well. And this is having a solo agent, so access to tools. So one agent that's in charge of one thing. And above that is a team of agents. So it's a bit like having an orchestra. You've got the conductor up the front, giving instructions to all these different agents to go and do stuff. And again, the promise is really sexy, but the reality is if they go rogue and make mistakes because of the compliance issue, because of the risk, it's probably not worth going down that path just yet. My personal take is give it 6 to 12 to 18 months time for your aggregators to be building these AI agents for you so that it can be done in a safe way with robust guardrails so that things don't go too pear-shaped. Now, that said, let's talk about how we can approach AI. And Jason alluded to it before. The 10-80-10 wedding cake principle is what I recommend. And this is basically having the first 10% is up to you. You need to provide the context and the constraints and the direction for what you want, much like a wedding cake. And then AI can do the 80% of the grunt work and get it, to that 90% done stage. But it's the final 10% where you sprinkle your magic on top, you do the icing, you do all the pretty stuff, and you quality check it to make sure that it's the right wedding or the right people or the right color. So that magic on top and the quality checking is that final 10% that should come down to you as well.
Fall, and it'll be an exercise in building trust between one another. So Harrison, if you don't mind going first, step up here on this chair and close your eyes. All right, and then everybody fill in and we're going to ask you to fall, and then they will catch you. So you have to trust us. I'm going to count to 3. Just relax and fall. Okay? 1, 2, 3. No, wait, no!
If you are putting your faith and your trust into AI, you need to know that it's there to catch you. And currently, it's just a little bit too dangerous. You don't want to be falling flat on your face like old mate did just there. And you may have seen just the other week that Deloitte produced this $439,000 report to its government client, and it had 6 references to academic papers that didn't exist. All right, so they didn't do that final 10% on top, and they've been found out. So you really need to make sure that you verify and validate all the information that you get from the AI learning models. Okay, so let's practically break this down into how it can apply to your broking business. So it's a bit of an AI broking strategy here. Feel free to take photos. I'll send you the slides if you want them. I've also got the AI broker prompt stack. So if we look at the 5 stages: lead gen, nurture, convert, delivery, and retention, there are practical ways to utilize AI across these 3 tiers. So the first tier, the foundational one, which was prompts and prompt stacks. The second tier was the workflows using the custom GPTs. And the third tier was the AI agents. So this is by no means exhaustive, it's just an example. But you've got for lead generation, you can get ChatGPT to write your LinkedIn post. You can also build a custom GPT that's pre-programmed with how you like to write LinkedIn posts. It's preloaded with your ideal client, your writing style guide, examples of things you've done in the past, so that it can produce them much faster for you. Or thirdly, you may even have something like an outreach agent. Now, I built one, well, my team built one that did this. It was basically, you would tell it about your ideal client or your ideal referral partner, and it would then look those people up on Sales Navigator, which is like the premium version of LinkedIn. It would then run the search. It would get all of their names, their job title, their location, their LinkedIn URL, as much contact information as it could find, and that agent will then take that information and put it into a spreadsheet for you. And then, because a lot of people don't make their email address accessible on LinkedIn, and because a lot of people have like Gmail and Hotmail addresses, that agent would then go and use another tool called Hunter, which it would log into and use and look up the work email address for these people. So that's not even a complicated agent, but you can see how it is performing certain tasks, and it's got access to certain tools, so Sales Navigator, Hunter, Google Docs. All right, so that's one example. The second, in the lead nurture side of things, you can get ChatGPT to write a follow-up email. You could have a custom GPT write an entire welcome sequence, or you could have an agent that actually tracks your CRM and sends personalized emails to people. As we move through into sales, you could get ChatGPT to write you a sales script. Like, what do I say on a sales call with a new prospect? The second one you could do is like a deal summary GPT. So it talks to you and asks you for all this information that you would have, and it helps you through that process. Or you might have a sales agent that updates your CRM based on all this data that it's collecting. With delivery, you might just turn simple call transcripts into diary notes for your CRM. You might have a compliance note, a GPT. You might also have a post-approval agent that performs all those tasks for you. And with retention, it might be as simple as having an annual check-in email that you get ChatGPT to write for you, or a birthday GPT, or a client monitor agent that monitors whether there's rate drops or if people have had equity gains, and it sends text messages to re-engage people in those conversations. There's a broad range of applications. Some of them are completely, well, safe, assuming you double check it, and some are more on the risky side of things right now. But that's an example of how you can apply this to your business to put time back in your calendar and to free up, to use that new time to be doing the high value, engaging, rewarding stuff that you really like. So how does this apply in the real world? Well, let's look here. Andrew Timms has been working with me for quite some time, and he's with Loan Market up at East Brisbane in Queensland. And he originally started off just using AI for simple things. The lowest hanging fruit for him was renaming files and validating those files. Then he moved to using AI to analyze payslips, financials, credit reports, lead management, and referrals. And in that process, he was able to basically halve the time it took for these deals. So taking it from about 10 to 14 hours per deal down to 5 to 7 hours per deal. So that's real time back in your calendar per deal. And so if you're doing that across multiple brokers, across multiple clients, if you're doing the assessments faster, you're getting obviously back to your clients quicker and you're closing more deals. So from a delivery and operational standpoint, that's really, really powerful. But not only that, building AI agents to do fairly basic but effective stuff like an SMS or a text message agent. So they uncovered 100 dormant or cold prospects or leads that had never really been that responsive, and set up a text messaging agent to re-engage with those people. And from those 100 numbers, they booked 9 meetings and closed 3 deals. So it's there's a very tangible ROI when you can even do simple stuff effectively. Now for him, voice AI is next in terms of contacting prospects and clients. Has anybody received a cold call from an AI robot on the phone before? Yeah. And for me personally, I quite like it. In my personal experience, I've actually found it a much better experience than most of the offshore call center cold calls that I would get. I don't mind. I like dealing with the AI robots. They're practical, and also you kind of don't feel bad if it's not the right fit. You just go, look, sorry, it's not for me. There's none of that sort of human emotional guilt of hanging up on someone or saying no thank you. And they're also it's very good. I mean, the AI voice agents that I've spoken to could take a booking and put it in the calendar for me and then put me in touch with a human to then have the high value conversation that would come later. So Andrew's message is, it's not AI that's going to replace brokers, it's brokers using the AI that will probably eat the lunch of brokers who aren't using AI. As mentioned, I do have a broker prompt stack. It's yours if you would like it. Just send me an email. If you get out your phone now, there's a QR code that should preload your inbox and draft an email to me with the subject line BIS. If you don't know how to use QR codes, you can just type in my email address there, adam@bluewiremedia.com.au. I will send you the slides. I'll send you the broker AI prompt stack and some other resources that you may find useful. If you would like that, just go ahead there. I do have a weekly newsletter where I send AI and marketing tips. If you would like that, you'll receive that. If you don't want that, just write the word no in the email to me. I'll send you the resources, but I won't add you to my list. But if you just send me BIS, I'll add you to my Blue Wire News, it's called, and I share lots of marketing tips and templates and AI resources on a regular basis. And finally, I will be running a one-day AI workshop specially designed for brokers. This is coming up in Sydney on the 6th of November at the QT Hotel. I'll be running the session. on the day, we're going to basically unpack and build a whole bunch of AI initiatives that you can start using in your business straight away. And so there's information there on the QR code. You'll see more information on it in the Broker Daily and other publications that you'll be receiving as well. So I'll be running that, and it's a great opportunity. If you're interested, if you're curious, if you're semi-advanced with your AI stuff and want to actually roll it out practically like I've sort of given you a teaser of today, then that one-day workshop should be right up your alley. To finish, I just want to let you know that it's worth having a line in the water right now with AI. You don't need to throw yourself into the water, but just put a line in, play around, start getting some practical wins now. Not only will you have the benefit of the real life benefit today, but you're also putting yourself in the right position for as the AI continues to evolve at lightning speed, and when the AI agents are released by the aggregators, you're in a really, really good position when that happens as well. So there's all my details. If you'd like to connect further, please do. I'm going to hand back to Jason. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, thank you so much.